I knew that. Hi. How you doing? I was testing you and you passed. Well done. Hang on. Sorry, I just quickly need to... Done. Hey, girl. And Nikki, yes, you are Boo Boo Bo. You're super Boo Boo Bo. I should know. I've seen your selfies in my Discord. So, is everyone having a good day? I'd say happy Thanksgiving, but so far, from what I can see, we're all British-ish. So, yeah. If there happens to be a lurker that's American, happy Thanksgiving! I hope you get all fat and jolly. Or fat and sassy. So, Mordor. This should be fun. I'm gonna get the buttons wrong. Cyber! I got Pal World! Hello, Sirius, darling. How are you? What's going on here? Breakfast. I shouldn't do that. I'll get banned. Last day working until next Saturday, so I'm ecstatic. Oh, thank God. Good. We'll find a way to get you out of Saturday's work. It's fine. I'll fall down the stairs or something. You're the only person that can help us. It's alright. Got you covered. Got you. Someone's got to get use of this disability. You know what I mean? You'll get away with it. You cute. Thanks. It's the mustache, isn't it? It works all the time. Ow. Excuse me. Works every time. Ugh. I think I've got a cat hair on it. Sexy, right? Anyway, moving on before I just dig myself a grave. Mordor. We're going to die. It's going to be great. Love the title. Thank you. I figured it was about time I embraced it. You know, I'm getting near that age where my real one will grow in soon. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll move on to the gaming screen now. Oh no! Oh no! I've got to have a little camera on. Like, just, I actually have to be able to see my camera when I've got this in, or I'll be gaming and I'll just be like, yeah! And no, we have to be dignified, for God's sake. Shh, we can be dignified. If you squint. So, where were we? Ah, war chiefs. Don't kill them. Kill their bodyguards. Bodyguards are fine. We can kill the bodyguards. So we need to kill the damn motherfucker. Nikki redeemed second. Congratulations. Oh, he's nearby. Ooh, he's nearby. Oh. There's some mutton chops. There are some mutton chops. It's not that bad. Look at it wiggle, man. Oh, don't do that, I'll sneeze. Right. Need to... Oh, I've done it now. It knocked me other nose ring. I'm just going to have a wonky tash. It's fine. Fuck it. I'm not the only person in the UK with a wonky tash. So has everybody had a good week so far? I don't really want to change any of that. Oh, we will be doing the around 10 o'clock. I'll be muting to do the phone call thing so the housemate gets back safely. Unless she miraculously turns up early like she did last time and doesn't tell me. And the dog barks and I absolutely poop. You know, the usual. Right. All them done. Did I make... Oh yeah, I filled them all. Oh well, I knew that. I'm so... Oh, head explosion kill. I was like, head explosions? Like, yes, that's why we do the panda. Pop. Okay, let us continue. So we are trying to find Akoth the Ripper. And he's close, apparently. Oh! Nice shit. Fears betrayal, don't we all? Damaged by combat finishes, love it. Hates pain. Okay. Monster Slayer, savage weapon, inflicts deep wounds that bleed over time, brilliant. Quick shot, of course. Deadly. You don't say. And you don't get last chance with him. Oh, he sounds fun. Well, he'll at least... excuse me. He'll at least get injured by this. Yep, see, injured.
Hey! Little things need smarts to stay alive. You little thing! You faced me!
I'm not a little
You're
thing.
not so smart.
5'7", a perfectly respectable height for a hobbit.
I'll kill you myself!
Okay. Boop. I can't quite pop him, so this will have to do. Okay. Can you? Don't you dare!
But you lose next time!
Oh, you lose now, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, you will, motherfucker. Sorry. Do I have all the intel I need on these peoples? Yeah. 3 bodyguards. It's a bit excessive. Crimp the straw.
You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
Thank you. Right. He's a pretty bastard. I'm sure he's got a lovely personality. Oh, I could have kept him because I keep forgetting about that. I mean, I didn't have to leave that one alive, thank God. But I could have kept him. Balls. Right. Next. He's all the way over the other side of the friggin' so is he. So they're all over the other. Oh, I command that one though. Fab. Should we try and command these ones? You about? No, you're not bodyguard. It's fine. Right. Rah. Let's go for Crimp. Looks like me. Don't be so silly. Slap your face. Hairy side. So I'm debating making an emote of the French mustache face. I never thought I'd do that, but I am seriously debating allowing this to be an emote. I don't, I might like it. Your issues are showing. Jesus. Sorry, mine show all the time. Mainly in my love of red flags. Ooh! No, not the button. Not the button. There's the button. So you need to fast travel to like the tippity top of the map. Because if I turn his bodyguards against him, oh, it'll kill him. I don't need to take over him. That could be in it. Wow, that is white as fuck. That's coming from me. We'll just kill him. It's fine. Hey. Right, so he's going to be in here somewhere. Wonderful. Ooh! Get up. Red. Maybe not. Wonder if he's further in.
That captain was
Da
top
da
of
da
steel.
da da da
Picked
dee
up in
dee
the air and
dee.
tossed in the dirt like it was nothing. I heard that too. No man's skull.
Run, bitch. Oh, someone else here? Where are you? Oh, up there. Good. You're not very nice.
So weak.
Now's our best chance.
Fuck off then.
Thank you.
I do love a good boom.
Yeah.
Right, can't find him yet. It did say he was over here, didn't it? Out there. I'll check the map again. I'm sure it's... No, it didn't. Wait, yes it did. Right in the top... Oh, fine. We'll just go in. We'll go explore. Now I know as soon as I do this, them that are around the corner are just going to appear. Or not. It's because I said it, isn't it? It's 'cause I said it. Aha!
Cream.
Cream. Vulnerable to stealth finishers and combat. Good. Hi, sorry I'm late. That's not a problem. You do not have to be sorry at all. He has a poison weapon. Fuck. And he regenerates. That's bullshit. What the fuck? Fuck you, me? Nuh-uh. Right, he needs to come back to that corner so I can sneak over and whatcha. I fell asleep. Well, you have been tired and you are unwell, so it is understandable.
I bet that would make a right mess.
I was going to say, he's the shitest fucking watch ever. Just strike. And then peek him up and brand. Mine. No, they're not. Nobody's sneaking around. Shut the fuck up.
Whatever it was can sort off. You're always so jumpy. When I fight, I want to be close to my enemy so I can smell his terror. That's a foul stench. I'd rather stick him with an arrow from far off. Anyone who ain't got the guts to stand toe-to-toe with their prey is obviously a coward.
Fair. Don't run! Chicken shit. That was the one that said anyone that can't stand toe-to-toe with their prey is a coward.
What was that shouting earlier? It sounded like
Right, he's over there. It says there's arrows. Where be there arrows? Dun dun da da boo. I've lost my voice. Oh God. How have you been anyway, lovely? I've not been too bad. Had my nephews today. We went to see Nana and we had some tea. Which was nice. A little bit of family time while the sibling got pierced, tattooed. Lucky bitch. I will get round to getting the rest of my tattoos done. Honest. Oh, I didn't think I'd reach. I thought I was attracting him. Oh well. Sucks to be you. Anyway, moving on. And now I'm with you, lovely guys. So, the just, you know, can't get any better really, can it? Where are these arrows? Oh, they're probably under the bridge. Oh, I can't be bothered with under the bridge. This is not the Red Hot Chilies. We do not need to be under the bridge. Well, yeah. Oh. Hello. Fucking bastard. It's not like it. I was gonna say, am I gonna hit him? Nice. I'm desperate for more tattoos. Yeah. After the new year, we're gonna finish the driving lessons so we can do the drivey drives. And then we're going to do some more tattoos. I've got my sleeve to finish. I've got my leg piece to finish. Because heaven forbid I actually finish one of them before getting the other. No. It's silly. Don't do that. You fucking will, aren't you?
You're gonna have your victory, but you'll never win the war.
Watch me, bitch. Have you seen this moustache? In the noggin. And thank you. I'm glad you've got stormtroopers in. Fuck no. Goodbye. Friend of Hagrid. Panda driving is a scary thought. I'm actually quite a good driver, surprisingly. Because, you know, I know other people of a certain gender aren't exactly... I mean, it's not necessarily just women drivers, but I'd say, like, when I've been on me lessons and such, 30% have been men that I've shouted at. Pains me greatly. I've seen you on Farm Sim. That's different. I'm trying to, like, be a bit... You know. It's a tractor. And normally it's the harnesses' fault. I've gone into a stairy. Now is not the time. Ah, there we go. Evening, Nomad. How you doing, me dear? Need to get some shouties done. Hang on. Bear with me. Doing well, and you good. I am glad you're doing well. Is that game quite quiet for you, or is it just me?
Oh, I was just messing up having time.
10.5 shell. Terror power! Anyway.
Moving on.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom,
Meow. Where's the other button? That was beautiful. I'm glad you're doing well, Nomad. I'm not doing bad, thank you, my dear. Not bad at all. But yeah, oh, Gordon, that was wonderful.
Wink.
I'm just moving towards him.
Go on! Go on! Oh my god.
Me.
Oh, another red to my rain, that's 2! And he's dodging it! Dodge him, Alice!
Red sniper.
Doesn't he? Lovely voice. There we are. I do believe that's all the streamers for the moment. What an interesting singing voice. It is. It's intriguingly fabulous. And oh, we need a new target. I forgot. Right, so we've killed. He's on the other side. Target him. Brog the Steady. Thought I didn't see, didn't you? Look off. Barfa Bowmaster. Well, I do like his helmet. Relishing in his recent promotion, thinking this is just the start of his rise. Okay. He's going to be a bit disappointed, isn't he? Because that's what we're going to do to Barfa. Fuck him up. Kinky bish. Okay, so what's this one? Awaits your command. Successfully completes this Oh, I need to ensure he successfully completes an execution. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we've got to do it. So. Which way is this successful execution? Ooh, friends! The dog made noise. Why is the dog barking? I have no messages to indicate there should be someone in the house. Well, if I get robbed, it's gonna be live, so... Woo! Did anyone stick around? No. Psh, bitches. Yeah, I would just walk on off like fucking A. Boop. Fucking A. Okay, I'm done. He's gonna move just to get there, isn't he? Oh! In the spine, though? Oh. Mm. Mm. That's not pleasant. Not pleasant. Okay. Oh, that's okay. If he needs to execute them, that's fine.
Naughty little Uruks! Time for punishment!
Someone tried swatting me on my first 24-hour stream a couple of years ago. Was really funny. That does not sound funny. At all. I've just what's the word? Thingied them for 5 minutes just so I can get through this and then pause it. But thank you, my dear. I'm sorry. The cops found funny. Well, I'm sure the fucker did. I wouldn't have found the fucker funny. If I found out who it was, I would have kicked their absolute snot out the face. And yes, that's the nicest way I'm going to put it, because... So... Is performing an execution? Yeah. Fucking hurry up about it, then.
I'm here to punish you!
Is he going to get on with it?
You're trembling!
I'm looking to see if there's anyone going to try and come and stop it or anything like that. Because I've just got to make sure he does it successfully. The cops found it funny. I mean, thankfully, the only people that know where I live would not do such a silly thing. Because I know where they live too. Hurry up. There we go. Resolved. That was like the easiest mission. Right, when the next lot of adverts come on, I will let them go through. And I will be going to see why the dog was, like, you know, wondering what the fuck was going on. Well, it says there's lots of them here. Oh, that's not a lot. Turned out to be the same guy that was a wizard hacking shit. Oh, so I can't jump through there, can I not? Okay.
I dare that ranger to jump down on me from up high, keeping my eyes peeled.
I had my door knocked down by a spot while raiding in WoW, but apparently they just had the apartment number wrong. Wow! I mean, pardon the pun, but wow. Deary me. Just now. I'd probably end up getting shot because I'd run my mouth. And then whoever got us in that trouble would definitely 100% be injured. I may be crippled, but I'm an asshole. Right, who will go? We need to keep going up, don't we? Because I'm not doing the orders yet. Is there any red immediately here? Woo! Excuse me.
P-Goog.
Oh, hello there. Oh, he's a singer. How lovely. Well, there's one. Are there any more in sight? Oh, there we go.
Iskra.
The rat. Oh, I agree. She's growling at that door still, you know. Don't start that, you'll set me off. I'm gonna have to go and have a look, aren't I? Well, ads are coming in 1 minute anyway. So, I'm gonna have to definitely bear a back screen. I knew that. Hello. All good. Chances are it's somebody next door doing something fucking stupid. Poor Bella. What about me? No, I don't know what it is. I can't hear anything, and the doorbell hasn't went, and I haven't got a message to say that someone's coming home early. So chances are it's just someone next door being a noisy arsehole, and Bella's like, "Fucking shut up!" Or she just feels like being a bit of a dick, you know. That happens with her too. 'Tis a thing. It has been known. Right, we've got another minute and 20 for anyone that gets at. So we're just going to sit and have a nap for a bit now, right? But all is safe, all is well. Nobody's in the house, at least, anyway. And if anyone does come in the house, I pity them. Hello! How are you? Ow. Would you rather I called you Elias 1 or Immortal? Or 1 Elias? Best thing was, it took 15 minutes to get through the door. I didn't hear a thing due to headphones. I'm an Atlas dog. Immortal. I shall call you Immortal. 2 seconds, everybody. I'm yet again going to say why my dog's screaming. This dog will be the death of me. There's still nothing there. She is a cockapoo. That's why she's a little yappy fecker. Oh, ow, that hurt. Right, where have you gone? Now she's hiding under the table. Which means she's going to pull me wires out. This animal. Bella? Up. Now stop being silly. Lie down. She also occasionally does this just for attention because she knows I'll get up. Right, anyway. Thank you everybody for being patient and waiting. We shall continue with the game now. Seeing as I'm not in any immediate danger. Yeah, she's a Cocker Spaniel crossed with a poodle. She was crossed with a miniature poodle, thankfully, though, so she's only small. She's a mongrel, technically, but now it's an official breed. So, yeah. Do you have a dog? Right, that one's the target. The map. There we go. Oh, I would love one of those. They're illegal here, sadly, but I would love one of those. They're so pretty.
They was good warriors, all of them.
Oh no, that one's mine. That one's mine. Right, so we've got one over there. Oh, that's annoying.
No way it could be true.
Aha! Come on, come on, lock on, lock on! Oh, you've been a dick. No, it's not cool. That is it. I know. It's stupid, isn't it?
Reckon there ain't anything in the land that beat our war chief. God damn right, he's a tough beggar. Hopefully with the head of the grave.
Oh, that was another one there. Oh wait, wrong button.
Bagaboog.
Bagaboog. It is ridiculous that they're illegal. They've also just made XL bullies. Illegal. I think it's XL bullies. Staff eating. I'm sure it's XL bullies. That
Seriously? That is f***ing ridiculous.
I agree completely. I don't think any dog should be illegal, really. You should just, you know, have people that actually look after them or train them properly. I think that seems reasonable, really, don't you? XL bully's a bad dog, yeah. Stupid, man. Yet the highest bite rates, if I remember correctly, in the UK are from Labradors and Chihuahuas. Are there any arrows? Exactly. I mean, obviously you will get the odd, like, dog, not breed, but you'll get the odd dog that is just a bad dog. Same as you get the odd human, that's just a bad human. You know what I mean? Yes, that's going to happen. But we're not banning fucking humans from places when they're horrible, are we? I mean, that's a subject we don't need to approach. Run. I think it's labs. I could be wrong, but I do know it's like it's one of those breeds. It's either a golden retriever or a lab or something like that. It's a breed that people are normally like, oh, they're just so lovely. Which, yeah, they are. Most dogs are fucking lovely. It's just when you get the odd wanker that buys them and doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Or doesn't try to learn what the fuck they're doing. I mean, I'm certainly no Caesar Milan by any means whatsoever, but when I went and got my dog, I went and looked up like the best ways to train her, the best ways to keep her, to interact with her and blah 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 blah. You know, the way to raise her nicely. They do say that my dog is meant to be of a very smart breed, and I think she just got the dipshit side of both breeds. Oh, I do believe I killed those humans. Oops. Oh, I didn't. Yay me.
Now then, look! A little piece of ginger glass with teeth.
So are you having a good Thanksgiving? I'm assuming you have Thanksgiving with you having a pit bull. Could be wrong. Hi-ya!
Show me what you fool!
Come here. Yeah. I was just gonna kill them, wasn't I? That's fine, I can get some more intel. Amoog the Hungry. Okay. Kill! Panda! Pop! Oh, he didn't pop! Makes me sad. Detonate. Oh, wait.
Come on then!
Bugger.
Man, swine! We will sing to the death of the stranger.
We have a musical one. Fabulous.
Did you think that doesn't work?
No. Yes. Oh.
Is this my lost song?
Yes. It's a no from me.
Did you see that? Raise the weekend.
Can you imagine if that's how they actually did the likes of Britain's Got Talent or something? It's a no from me. Sword through the skull. Your rune inventory is full.
The ranger thinks he's safe hiding in the cave.
I didn't even know that was a thing like that.
It's the ranger.
It is. Well done. Right. So we can get rid of runes. Yeah, I've just been told that. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, should we get rid of all these? Get rid of the white ones. Yeah. How are they even sorted anyway? I'm going to assume they're sorted on shitness. Good shit to just shit. If I'm wrong, meh. It's a shame you can't like multi-select. Or am I just being a div? Oh, this is fun. Oops. It wasn't even for a sword. Why is that? While riding a monster, no thank you. 41% chance. Yeah, that should do. And then we'll do some for the dagger. Ooh. No, I'm not good at that at all. Instantly mount one with Shadow Strike. Oh, that would be handy. Okay, you win. And more elf shots or more focus? Can I get both? No, of course I can't. Okay. No. Well, oh well, okay, fine, just do that then, whatever. Was there someone else? Not yet. Oh. Yeah, fuck off. Run! You can't tell a lady to get shaved or trimmed. Righty Moses. But hello, Ollie, how are you? But I already did. This is true, you did. Well done. Well played, sir. Hang on. I need to do a couple of shouties. Ooh. What shall I do now? Hang your head in shame. Oh, helps if I'm in the box, doesn't it? That's what you did. Immortal. Ah, don't you start this rubbish with your no shouties. We'll see if it'll do it afterwards. Imagine about shame. Ding ding. I wonder why it only does it on some. Like, it'll shout some out and then others it'll just be a bit of a pain in the arse. Curiouser and curiouser. Just silly me being silly. Nothing wrong with that. Try one more time for immortal.
You're making me mad. Prepared this one special.
I ain't trying to do that.
Kick their ass! I hope you kicked their posterior good. So I am an arse. A good kind. Good kind of arse. That you're a cake. Anyway, moving on. Right. Is there... Because I'm sure... Is there not meant to be another person here? Oh, there.
Balfa.
Oh, that's a face to zoom in on, isn't it? Mark target. Ta-da-dee. Lovely. Lovely.
Next one I see, I'm gonna learn to ride. Well, you shouldn't be
Opa. Oh. I knew that.
Hold it right there.
Right, we need to go for this one. Because they do my head in. Oops. You should probably snooze. Oh, hang on. I should probably snooze. Had quite a bit to drink and need to sleep. Get the young to school tomorrow morning. Kick but gorgeous nanny. Night, my love. I hope you sleep well and have wonderful dreams and have no hangover tomorrow. I would say enjoy the school run, but it's a school run. I know. Good night. Oh. Eh. God damn it, move! Oh, it's just picking on us now.
I love you, random citizen.
It's all I wanted to do. And it had to go and pick on us. It's just rude. Good night, Nikki. Right, now there's lots of them. That one I heard. Something very peculiar going on in this house tonight. Why are there so bloody many? I've taken something off this bowl. Oh, there you go. Oh, I missed. Damn it. Don't listen to the voices, but they're funny. I'll be right there. I'm a pro ghost hunter now. I've got 15 seasons of Supernatural under my belt. I will join you. I want that nose piercing. Isn't it absolutely fabulous? I was saying, I'm thinking of making this. I know. An emote, but with the ooh. Nope, wrong way. With this. Which is, it's now wonky. Hello, how are you doing anyway? Pandy!
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Ow.
I am good, thank you. You missed a bit, by the way. That was aggressive. That was personal. That was personal.
Clipper of.
Oh my god!
It helps if you don't shoot the rail.
Wow.
Oh dear. Why did I agree to more tomorrow?
That last guy right there is dead,
I question
okay?
myself at times. Yeah. Clearly you're just like a good cream in the face. You know what I mean? We all been there. It's fine. Good for the paws and all that jazz. Or so I'm told. Just at times. Your life must be easy, see? Right, so now I'm going to go down there. Punchy punch everything. Oh, don't give me that face.
Hey! My playtime will be agony for you now, sweetness.
Oh, okay, darling. Oh, shoot.
I've seen that before.
Well, that's fine. I wasn't trying to do it to you. I was trying to do this motherfucker. Bop! Slice! Stabbing! Oh, well, that was the reverse, wasn't it?
Let's draw and quarter this time. You're wasting my
No,
time.
no, no, no. Yes.
Writhing on the ground.
Oh, he looks very surprised. Shouldn't be. I'm big and skilly. Grr. Oh.
Waste us.
That's a few of them. Now, if they would be so kind to just fuck off while I'm up here. No, of course not. That would be handy. Woo! I honestly thought I fell off there. I question myself at times. Yes, yeah, I've read that one, sorry. The rest of the time, I ignore myself and carry on. Same. 100%. Same. Right. Was that all the bodyguards? Can I now move on to... Right, that bodyguard's mine, so that's okay. No. I thought I just fucking killed that one. Oh. Okay. Okay. Da, 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 da. Maybe not. Excuse you. Can you, thank you. Whoop. Bah. Don't worry, got some for you too. And we even got a little baby. Swing. Whoa, stop. Swing. Oh dear. I've made a bit of a whoopsie here. Would you care to move? That would be wonderful. Ow. Yeah, well, you deserve that because you didn't move. So, yeah. Just saying. I told him to move. He was like, no, I'll be fine. Alright. Really? Really?
The only thing left will be blood and guts.
Yeah, that was a bit unnecessary. Oh my goodness, will you just go away?
I was promoted. I put myself in charge of the others. Why'd you want to do that? Then you tell me how to poison my way.
Run, bitch! Run! Dum dum da da dum dum. Right. What do we do here? Feast. Oh wow, he's really like Beetlejuicy. Like the sandworms. I don't want to run, I barely want to walk. Preach. Uruks. He's so pretty. I bet he's got a dazzling personality, you know. Uruks hold feasts to celebrate great deeds and compare to see who can hold the most grog. If left undisturbed, the leader will increase in power. Invade the feast and weaken the army. Bet.
Now is the time to fill our bellies with grog.
Yeah. Now is the time for me to go dun dun da da. Zibby-doo. Up, up. It's a bit shaky. Up, you motherfucker. No. Thank you. Oh, bollocks, man. It's too many. I hate the shield ones, you know. Just fuck me off.
Grave Walker! Is this some kind of joke?
I have achieved
I've killed
food.
you
Good.
already.
What food have you achieved? Alright, don't like you. Don't like you. Don't like you. Don't like you. Not really keen on you either. Right. Oh, you motherfucker. Not so fucking tough now, are you? Ah, pip pip. I've also achieved Poodle Snuggles. He's very happy. Good. I'm glad he is happy.
Here is your end.
Yeah. Fucker. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope. Never mind. I had a perfectly cooked steak, with thick cut chips, with the skin on, mushrooms and fried tomatoes. Oh, until you said fried tomatoes, that was absolutely banging. I went super un-American and got beef lo mein with crab puffs. Ooh, that sounds very nice. Very nice. Precious. Yeah, no, that was not very good, Gollum. Which is whoops. But it was the thought that counts, you know. No. Thank you. I just want that. Thank you. Okay, so now we go for the other ones, which are over here. I haven't had Chinese in ages, you know. No. After the weekend. say that like I won't probably get one tomorrow. Crack on frog blood. Okay. Frog blood.
Our enemy hides behind his shield bearers.
Kill them all. Got it. Where are they? Oh, well, one's there. So, bye-bye. Oh, oh. Boop. Up. Up. Get up.
That couldn't have been the hammer Greywalker killed. Looked like him, but I don't buy it. Nothing could beat him in a fight. Nothing.
Nothing. Should've just killed that one. Is there... Oh! And there should be some arrows around here too.
Follow your orders, and remember your training for once. The tower's back, so
Where are these arrows? Over the other side?
I've survived a million cannons.
No? Says that they're here somewhere. Oh, they'll be under the bloody bridge, won't they? These people and their arrows under a bridge, honestly.
Someone's killed him.
I'm just alone today, so I figured I would go Chinese for foodums. My ginger came off his tree. Just to pet me. Is it Ginger Tom? Dun, 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 you don't see shit. Fuck off. Yeah, and he's needy, yeah. But beautiful. Hi, Duchess. How are you? Yes.
Slit your throat. I want to feel your hot blood running down my chin.
Wow. No. Woke up with my tummy hurting. Oh, I'm sorry.
None of that.
Not the one I was trying to jump. Stop jumping on him. That's the one I was trying to jump on.
I'm moving up in the world.
Whomgrat the
Nothing
Brown.
gonna stop me from being top.
That dude just lost faith. Take me for a drink first. Jeez. Exactly, you know what I mean? Like, fucking hell. Dude, you are interrupting my cool, okay? You make me look stupid in front of my friend. Boop. Beep. Boop. Ka-chow. Not the one I wanted to do. Not the one I wanted to do. Here we go. Ooh, I'm gonna fucking die. Yoop.
You're too weak.
Right, I need to find a plant.
Stay here.
Is there a plant? Oh, there's a plant around here. There's a plant around here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Show me the plant. Motherfucker. now he's just annoying me. Right, plant. Where is it? Plant. It says it's down there somewhere. Oops. Plant. I need a plant, or I'm going to die. It said there's one there, but I can't see it.
Money don't drink.
Oh!
It falls to
I left to see you wicked whip. Thank you. Naughty. Plant. Stop it. I can't decide what we need to put for a 69. Because it's naughty. You meant to save your money and stuff.
I recognize that move. I've already foiled you once. A time Ranger.
Oh, shit in the bed. We could do that. Stabbing! Oh, I need another fucking plant already. You kidding? I somehow suspect they don't have one here. Right, is he dead now? Fuck off. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. One down.
Just like that. They're gonna kill you. I'm too fast for you.
It was still a very appreciative thank you, though. Right, don't kill. Don't kill. Kill everything else. Oh, here. Can I get their heads? Oh, missed. Ooh! Thank you. Stop it. Fuck off then. Shit. Right, need another plant. Do you mean you smell something, you cheeky bugger? Excuse me, sir. Right, there should be some more arrows up here. Ah, there they are. Can't take because of fucking smoke. Well, I got some health back. I think that was off killing something. Strange time to go picking flowers. I know, but what can I say? You know. I'm the daughter of a hippie.
Cowards run away.
Is he vulnerable to ranged attack? course he's fucking not.
Bleeding. Did you just see that? It slowly and make you beg.
The only problem is, I don't think there's any more flowers here. But my health is going up while I'm hidden a little bit. I'll try not to take too long.
The courage of men, indeed. Ha.
How do I jump again? Right, we got... Oh, that's Amy. So now at least we have a reason for our barking at the door. And we're not getting murdered. That wasn't anger bark. I'm sorry if that hurt anybody's ears. Fucking hurt mine. I've got sound cancelling headphones on. Right. So. Let's go get this motherfucker. Get rid of all you. Hopefully. There he is. Ooh. Really?
You'll be roasting on us! Stop moving! Can't hurt me! Now you can do better than that!
It's very annoying when he does that.
We'll draw! Each one of us will take a piece of you as a trophy! Don't move!
Oh, shit. Oh, you can't do any last fin. Oh, you can.
We're gonna kill you slowly and make you beg for mercy! Tony!
No, that's not the one you need to do it on. That's the one you need to do. Oh, he's got more fucking health back now. Motherfucker.
You'll be roasting on a spit with it!
Ooh, look at die. Well, at least everyone gets promoted now.
To get out of the Shrock heap.
Ogthrak. It's a name. I know. Oh, I just won the lottery. I found weed. Ooh, nice. If he turns into someone's bodyguard, I swear. Oh, there's another one. Why are they all doing this? It's like the most delicate, dainty, like, arr. That's better. I did well for himself today. Felgrat the Murderous. So why did it tell us who he was if he was unknown? Right, are they done now, are they? Oh no, did one of me war chiefs die? Hello.
Hi, sorry, did you have some soup? What's it?
Not yet. It's warmed. It should be warmed up, and you can like slice bread and stuff. Right. I bet you if these got bodyguards. Oh my goodness, really? This is when the dynamic in this game starts to bite me in the arse. Just going through a couple of cardboard boxes from 5 years ago. Oh! Well, even more reason. You were meant to find it. Medical weed, what's it? That's bloody good stuff in there. From what I'm aware. It's nice that she left you a gift. There you go. Good. Right. Oh, this is going to be such a pain in the bum. I'm sure he is. Save enemy defeat. Dickhead. He's got 2 bodyguards. Oh my goodness. Well, the other 2 haven't, so let's see how this goes.
Queen
Try again.
Marlon was possessed. That wizard was using
The ones
her
with
to
the
get to
shields,
you,
man.
using her to build an army within Mordor.
Sauron
Hate
and
the ones
Saruman
with the
both
shields.
pursue the power of the Ringmaker. There can be only one Lord of the Rings.
And he does not share power. Oh, at least he survived straight away this time. This is that. Right, let's hopefully not make him ridiculously fucking beastie now.
Ranger!
Right, hopefully I've got time. It's me, and the Lord. Hell yeah, you are. He said the thing! I know, I was really tempted to be like... Ah, I haven't got your little fucking cronies, have you? Dickwad.
What a waste of time!
Right, no.
I've been dreaming about this! You already tried that!
Fucking heals.
I will compose a song of your screams! Don't even try it!
How the fuck? Oh, I gotta get him nearly dead?
Wasting my time! I know there's steps to that!
Oh,
If
oh,
you have any mercy, burn my corpse.
No, I'm gonna use it, love.
My brothers will do to it.
Oh my goodness. What the fuck are his brothers gonna do to it? Who the fuck are his brothers? So very disturbing. Don't kill. Yes, don't kill. Good. Yeah, they have siblings. They kind of brushed on it in Rings of Power. That orcs can have families and children and stuff. Because, yes, they used to be elves and they were, like, you know, turned and tortured and blah, 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 blah. But elves can have children. So it would make sense that orcs can still have children. Because orcs aren't, I think, I could be wrong, obviously, but I'm pretty sure orcs aren't made the way that, like, Uruk-hai are. Because they're the half-orc, half-goblin man, so. Again, could be wrong. Right, so that is that one, okay. Fire water. Force Zogdush Zogdush? The Infernal to respond by detonating his grog stacks. Ah. Why's the rum gone? Or is it a litter with orcs? I don't know. Would you call it a litter or a... It depends how many they have, really, I suppose. What's the what would you say for elves? You'd just say that they had children, wouldn't you? Or elflings? Could they be orclings? It's something I'll have to look up later, because now it'll just play in my mind. Where's Raffi when you need him? He'd know. Oh, Maxwell, do you not know? The rum isn't gone. It's in the glass. Not for long, because I'm about to shoot the fucker and blow it up. So please, remove it from anything flammable. Or from anything that can... I know what I mean. Okay, it go boom. Do you know what orc children would be called? Because obviously they've went and said like orcs can have families and they can have children and things like that. Would we call it a litter? Would we call it orclings, just children? Would it be a hatchling thing or a batch or something? A murder? Bish, you know it. Right. Wonder how fast we die on this one.
Cannot resist the lure of destruction.
A cupboard? Depends on the thing they are from, like the region and stuff. Yeah. Because you won't get you won't get Uruk-hai children unless someone's really twisted. Hiya! Why did it need to make a noise like a dolphin? Oh no! Oh. Oh no! A group of pandas is considered a cupboard. I thought a group of pandas was an embarrassment. Some say orclings, some just say orc, but I think Lord of the Rings it's just orc. Oh! Well, I much prefer a cupboard to an embarrassment. You know I'm an embarrassment. Never really been called a cupboard before.
This Uruk's dead. Die all the time. Must have stolen someone's grove. What was that?
It's me, Jessica. See, that was a dolphin noise. That's weird. I'm not an embarrassment, so I prefer cupboard. Exactly. Call embarrassment. What did it mean? Is that the? Can't be the other one. Where's the other one? Is that last one? Oh, that's the last one.
If we could magically move from shadow.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Zogdush. Zogdush. So I should say on a punch him. Zogdush.
This Uruk's been slain.
Zogdush.
Can be damaged by explosions and hit with combat finishes.
Triumph.
Ooh. Didn't we kill him? I mean, thankfully combat finishes all around, but didn't we kill him? Pretty sure we killed him. Just saying.
Just my imagination. Just move over there. I will crush you, Ranger!
Ranger!
Fire! I make him burn in it!
Fair. You do you, boo. I'm sure we killed him, you know. Don't you dare interrupt my... Oh, you little bitch. I was on a roll.
Fool! They've already tried. Like the beacon.
Thank you. What are you doing? There will be an ad in just over 30 seconds. Hopefully we will kick the shit out of everybody in time. If not, I'll pause.
That was your doing.
It shouldn't be a fucking scar. I killed you. Daft cunt. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause on that. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Fuck. Just in time for the ads. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. So that happened. The ads are about to start, as far as I'm aware. It is saying ads starting soon, and it's taking its time. Have they started? Evidently, the only people that can tell me are people that will get ads. So, I don't want to be sitting in a just chatting screen when I could be playing the game because the ads aren't on yet. Oh, there you go. The ads have started. That was a perfect time for that head chop, though. It's like, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. He had enough life left to not be killed. And normally, when they get to that level of life, it obviously says, like, kill or control. That was naughty. Naughty, naughty. But we're about to kill him to make up for it, so it's fine. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. Of course that just happened. Ow. Ow. So how's everybody's evening going? It's not so much hurting myself, it's just movement in general in this seat. Ideally, a single seat, like recliner, would be top notch. But no. That's for rich people. I've got an overlay that shows if the ads are playing. If I can remember where I find it, I'll send it to you. Oh, thank you. Oh, that reminds us. I also need to look into a good capture thing. Ow. Really? Too far. I feel that's why I can only play like 2 hours on a stream. Yeah. Well, Guy was nice enough to buy me a footrest on Throne. That helps kind of. It's a best moustache, though, is a crooked one. Hell yeah. I have a plugin for that too. Don't know how good it is. So, well, according to Funky, the one that I use is absolutely hilarious for her. Can you imagine if I didn't put me streamy voice on, where I actually pronounce words better and stuff like that? And if I just went, I mean, I don't have a strong accent, but I have a stronger accent when I'm just in a VC compared to when I'm on here. So can you imagine? But yeah, sorry. Guy bought me like a memory foam kind of special footrest specifically for sitting in the chairs, which does help. But sadly, still just a cripple. So yeah. I was thinking that, you know, when she was saying, "Oh, some of these things on the CC are amazing," just found the prescription, and it has my name on it since I was the one picking up the meds. This weekend will be nice. That's brilliant. In for a fucking awesome one. Welcome back from the ads, anyone that had ads. I appreciate you for sticking around if you did. I understand if you didn't. Ads are an absolute fucking pain in the ass. Can't even get busted for it. I ain't gonna say shit. Well, I do know this man. Nope. And technically, I'm not lying. I'm like, excuse me, sir, have you seen this mustache? Would I lie to you? No, 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 no. Completely legitimate legal things and... Anyway, should we get back to the game? You know, for a little dog, Bella lands on the floor like a fucking elephant. She just jumped down off the sofa there and I was literally like, boom. She's fucking tiny. Clearly, if I jumped off the sofa, the floor would just cave in if that's the case. Right, there, anyway. Oh, well, hang on. No. God damn it. So I need to kill his 2 bodyguards. I need to find out who his 2 bodyguards are. Then I need to kill his 2 bodyguards. Fab. My jaw just cracked when I did that. Yes, I know he died. Stop telling me. Fuck. Bella, be quiet, please. The only thing I can think is there's some kind of spook running about the house, being an absolute arsepipe. And it better pack it in.
Look, there's been a murder.
So is he actually running away? Or can I just, like, kick the shit out of him in a second? He ran. Right, okay.
What's going on around here?
So...
The tower's back.
Are there any others?
Stand up straight and clean your blades.
Oh, I thought that was once just a shield.
The Moor's army.
So let's go here. Oh, let's go here first and then here. There. Is Bella usually nervous? She can be at times. Normally when we're in the house, she'll bark if there's a knock at the door. She goes mental. Everybody has to know that there's someone at the door. If the doorbell goes, she goes mental. Everyone has to know there's someone at the door. But like walking around the house and being quite edgy and nervous, not normally. Only when it's like understandable to say, you know, a little bit after bonfire night, when there's been the fireworks about, things like that, but nah. Like I said, there's a chance I can't necessarily hear everything because I've got my headphones on and they block out a good bit of the noise. There is a chance that the neighbours have been making quite a bit of noise because our neighbours are lovers of a recreational. And not a fun recreational, they're lovers of like good heavy recreationals, so they can get a bit loud. Oop. No, surprisingly it's not particularly windy. No, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I want that one. That's it. Chances are it's the neighbours. And I just can't hear them because But the housemate's here now, so I will shop, be made aware of anything.
Need more proof of my strength? Alright, let's do this!
Ogthrak.
I don't know any of his. Okay. Oh yeah! Puppy, get out the way. Oh, it's a puppy. Oh, sorry, puppy. Fuck! Did you just win because I accidentally fucking bastard? Fine, I'll keep killing him, it's fine.
Hey! So I'll kill you and you come back? Don't seem very smart.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not at all. Like that. See?
Stupid sod! Face me, maggot! I know that trick!
You're about fucking face me, maggot. Take that, you dickhead. Jesus. Face me, maggot. I'm facing.
Your command.
Gain intel. Because I need to know who these fucking bodyguards. Oh, I've just killed. Did I just kill one? No. Scoth Bone Crusher. Bye. Up, up, up we go. Until we reach the tunnel. Anyone in here? There's normally a couple of them in big places like that. Maybe I'll go further in. Yeah, because... Oh no, we'll go do this.
I hear the Gravewalker likes to blow them up if you give him the chance.
Ooh, look at all these arrows. Ooh, okay, so there's a thing. I think it's up there. Hello?
I like the sound of that.
There it is. Will you just... No. No. He's an ass. Alright, so now we have to find... Ooh, a Gondorian coin. Oh, I like that. That's a cool coin.
It's good. A coin of the realm. Sure, but it's the coin of Gondor's realm. If you don't want it. I didn't say that, Cap. But how about a few less of these and a little more of that elvish cloth you brought over from Eregion? I think we can do that.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
It
folds
folds,
up
like
to see you wiggle wiggle.
Oh,
For
Joe.
sure.
Stop it. And thank you. But I'm gonna have to either put like a pole or a thread kind of thing up in Discord so we
Sauron
can
will
see
use
what
gold to buy allies among
people
the
think would
kingdoms
be
of
cool
men.
for a 60. Oh, excuse me. For when you do 69 biddies. Ooh, that was a pain. Okay. Ah, that was a continuous pain. Go away. I'm busy. I don't have time for pain.
What happened to P-Goog and Iskar?
Me.
What would I know? I was busy torturing the men.
I happened to them.
Get 'em. Them voodoo were
Sang
weak.
Talath.
Got stopped by a couple of grounds.
Oh, wrong way. Oh shit.
I thought I heard something. My head's like
Why are you running? I felt that wiggle and I did that. I mean, I'm grown up. You saw nothing. You may see something. Until I do this. Boop. Oh, sucks to be you. The fuck? Oh. Itchy forehead. Ishgar the rat.
Bring me your blades. I'll give you pretty things to slice, yes? Follow you? You're pathetic.
Oh, wow.
Kill everything for the master.
Fucking bastard.
I will make a drum of his traitor's skin. Kill it! Eat its flesh! You! Maggot! No flames this time? Good. I prefer my playthings a little colder.
Oh, that sounds really questionable, my dude.
Come closer.
Oh, he's gonna try and run away. Stabbing! Ta-da! Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yo. Ah! Celebrate good time. Come on. Really? You're making me look stupid again. Boop. Swish, swish, swing, swing. That was more just a... But, you know, close enough. What flowers do we need? Ah, mushrooms. Green, red, white. Kill 3 bats. Crimp. Right, we can kill 2 of them here. I say that like I'm gonna successfully kill them straight off the bat.
I saw the Tarks scare Hawk so badly he dropped his axe.
Okay. Now the wee beasties are going to make a run for it out of here. Potentially. Or not, because I've said it. Right over. Yeah. Yeet! Oh shit, I think I just yeeted at a very bad time. Ooh, nice puppy.
You do realize you're here to die, right? I've held my troops back to finish you off myself. Yeah.
Who is stronger?
Triumph.
He's 16. Chances are he's stronger.
Gorgum.
Never mind, I was wrong. Shield. We don't like the shields or the dual wields. I really fucking don't like them motherfuckers. We don't really like any of them, do we? Can I shoot him in the head? Ah, you motherfucker.
Did you hear that? I don't think anything was ever there.
Right, hopefully a bunch of people ran away.
You maggot! You look surprised to see me again. Dead surprised.
Sure.
Never. That won't work. Go ahead. Murder me.
Okay. Which one was the other bodyguard? Tuka. Is it Tuka? Tuka? Thrilled to be recognised as a more powerful officer in Saruman's army. He does look rather happy with himself, doesn't he? Goodbye. Boop. Oh, I'll break. Don't you dare run away. Don't you dare. Good. Good all. Oh my goodness. Beautiful smile on that fellow. I agree. What a tooth.
I'm no glob. I remember that. None of that talk.
Why the spine, man? Gosh golly. How we all doing? Are we doing good? You all staying hydrated? Everybody had something to eat? All that jazz? Right, what's next? We've got this here. Get rid of some of the captains. Ah. Getting a drink now. Good man. Good. Good, good, good. Oh. Convenient. Ooh, it's a big drop. Ballsy. Be free! Mushrooms! Is it a mushroom that I need? Did I say I need a blue? No. Ah, that motherfucker. Well, let us go. Gotta let him get killed by it.
You bite me?
Or just kill him.
I'll bite you back. Open the cage!
That is fair. Any more arrows here? No, of course not. That would be simple. I just killed the fucking cargo, didn't I? Fuck!
I killed the monster, and you cheer me! Man filth! Your suffering will be sweet delight!
Yes, yes, yes. Well, the only reason you got anywhere is because of me, you little fuck.
Blood and gristle! Nice that move! I've seen that!
Ta-da! Wow, they are all like fucking gone. Okay. Who else do we have? Right, where is they? All the way at the top, of course. Ah, over that side. Right. So if he's over that side... Itchy nose. Ooh, white mushroom. Yeet. Ow, that really hurt. That was unnecessary. Generally just minding your own business and your body's just like, hey, remember me? Rude.
Stop whining and
Oh shit, oh well. Okay. Panda. Boop. I got munch too. Very good, very good. I deny any such phenomenon. I wish I could deny it. That would be great. I'd love it. Oh, I'd really appreciate it. Right, anyway. Oh, oh well. Done it now, haven't I? Fuck you! Squish! M&M Crispies. Oh, I love the crispy ones. They're so good. My body don't agree, but I still try. Yeah. I understand that one well. My brain's like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna decorate this, and we're gonna move this furniture, and we're gonna, like, all the things I did before my accident, when I was, like, active and did all this stuff, and DIY ways, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah. It'd be like, the fuck you are. Thank you. It's like the only D we get in this house is disability.
These mindless monsters are no match for us!
Wow, they are some cool hammers. Dead. Dead. Ah, dead. 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 That wasn't a headshot. That's not dead. Dead. Get him! Can I headshot him? Ah, fucking course he is. Come on, kill him! Better to live in denial. I try. Come on, you can do it. Kill him. We may be here for a while. Stay away from me, you horrible things! I mean, I'm rooting on the little guy. Yeah. Just in case the little guy starts to lose, I have 2 arrows to do, like, the whole, like, ninja shoot thing. Well, ninja fly towards him. Come on, you can do it. He is getting through him quite a bit, isn't he? Come on. Go, monsters, go! I believe in you. You can do it. I love how they're synchronized spitting. So nice. Oh, fuck. Don't go. Fucking hell, look at that. Hey, twat. Spit on that thigh. The original fuck twats. Not so fucking big and hard now, are you? Ooh. Oh, you missed? That's better. Whoa. Wow, this is taking a while. But they're putting so much effort into it, you know what I mean? Fuck it. Do me fucking head in.
Looking for
I tried.
a piece to skin and eat, we were. Maybe we'll skin and eat you instead.
Oh, thank you.
My blade. On me.
Boop. I'd pass on that specific Octois. Yeah, Octois. If it's green, don't be keen. What the fuck did I just choked it. I like that. What are you doing? Yeah, you go raise the alarm. That's fine. Oh, excuse you. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, that's me. No, that around the lamp. Big shit. First, we detonate. Then, never mind. Excuse you. Oh, one of those things. No. Right. So we did that. The new one there. Hang on. Thank you. We need this motherfucker. Oh, he is that new one. Okay, fine. Bye. And then we'll go for the other war chief. And try not to kill this one. Yeah. I'm going to do my best to continue to the 3 hours. If it gets too much, I will let you know. And we may have to call it early. But I will do my bestest. Just want to give you the warning now. Oh, look. Barbecue. Meow. Ooh, ooh. Red mushroom, red mushroom.
Oi, killers on the loose.
Oh, next one. Red mushroom. Oh, I don't think you should eat them at all. They did not look like... No. Is that another red mushroom? Ah, can we get... No.
Leave an old man his dreams, will you? I know I killed this girl.
Right, over. Yeah. What the hell is a Frodo? Where the hell is a Frodo? Hello, how are you? The fuck did I just press? Oh, okay. My stream deck's having an absolute, like... When is Frodo?
Do this the correct way. So, just saying... Oh, fuck, damn it! God dang it. How did I know that was gonna happen? I mean, she clearly shot it.
Why is Frodo? I do. Do I see a moustache? You do. Fetching, isn't it? Pip pip. You're not going to point out a lady's moustache, you know. It's rude. Of course you are. Right. Mosfell, the literate one. Oh, we have an intellectual. Yeah, well.
Fresh blood is coming. I can smell it.
It's kind of gross.
Come on! Let's keep some alive for fun!
It occasionally like catches the actual other nose ring I've got in, but thankfully my actual mustache hasn't grown through quite yet, so it doesn't bother us. It occasionally tickles when it wiggles, and sometimes it'll just like do like that. But outside of that, I know it's roughly in the middle when it does a good little jiggle. It tickles when it wiggles. Panda 2024. I mean, I'm not wrong though. Right, where's the other one? Where is the other one? Is it just that one? Sit down. Oh, hang on.
I'll destroy you, Tark!
Of course you will.
Tulka.
Yeah, we've already... Where's the other one?
What was that? Just you and me! Oh, bother. I hope you was dead already.
Yeah, I have that effect.
Can you scream
That quote can be
louder than
misunderstood
Ulrich,
in
will ya?
so many ways. Most of the
one way
things
to
that leave
find
my
out.
mouth, probably just like that sentence, could definitely be misunderstood in
You're
so many ways.
nothing! Ha! You're weak!
Yeah, well, your mom sells Avon, so fucking nah.
Boys, eh? Now,
Wow. Oh, I just made the literate one a bit stronger. Where is the literate one? I would like to kill him. Oh, there you are.
Lots of bother around here, all because of you.
He looks like a bog witch. Sounds like a bog witch. He's a bog witch! Excuse me, my mother sells Tupperware, but that's not Avon though, is it?
I won't fall for that a second time.
Is it good Tupperware? Fuck off. It's Tupperware, brand Tupperware, the good stuff. Oh, well, that is like next level shit. Okay. So, let's try for this war chief. Hopefully not kill him. Tupperware, aren't they bankrupt? Like the stuff says. What? Like the stuff that stays with the family for centuries. Nah. The only thing that stayed with my family for centuries is like trauma. And tism. And many, many medical conditions. He has a cool helmet. Panda 2024. Whoop, shit, I missed. Trauma, the gift that keeps on giving. It really, really does. And it doesn't discriminate. You know, it's always there for us. I can depend on the fact that it's going to be there. Ow! Sorry, just like the pain. Oh. That was unnecessary. Oh, would you look at that? Okay. Right, dead shot. Well, I have, but you're gonna put one there with him anyway. Kill archers to draw out Krook the serpent.
Our foe has eyes everywhere. Pluck them out.
I'll read. La 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 la. Whee! squint.
If the ranger's stupid enough to get close to me, I'll pick up and toss him to the ground so hard his back'll break.
Well, that was just rude. I feel like that was a bit too fucking personal. I already broke my fucking back. Fucker. Alright, anyway, moving on. There was just no need for that. We didn't need to bring the spinal injury into it, you know what I mean?
I've seen the ranger riding a Caragor, so it can't be that hard to do.
Boom! Oh no, boom. That was my fault. Obviously, I'm the one holding the controller. Where's this? It must be underneath. Right, where are the other ones? One there. One there, one there.
I suppose it was my imagination. Just forget about it.
Right, can I... Ooh, ooh. Can I see that one? No, can't. Damn. Oh, I can't when it comes to this side, though. Get in. Well, hi! I never understood chronic pain before. I broke off my rib cage by accident. Breathing with broken ribs apparently is as close as you can get. I think it depends on the level of chronic pain, because chronic pain just means you've permanently got it, doesn't it? It's a chronic condition, it's something that's not going to go away. My pain varies. Like, I can have... I thought we'd have a quick game of zombies. Nearly 2 hours later it ended. Got matched with some fucking zombie pro. I was getting bored. Have a good game though. But yeah, my pain like varies. I've always got a constant pain. So like, you know how they do the pain scale? I'm always around a 4 or a 5.
Jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle. For sure.
Stop it. Thank you. So yeah. I'm always around a 4 or a 5, but occasionally it can depend on how I'm sitting. If I've... To be fair, it sometimes doesn't have a reason behind it at all. It can just shoot. So I'll get like the shooting pains that you tend to get, they do tend to go up closer to the 10 marker, but they're very sudden, they're very quick. The longest I've had like one of the sharp pains recently last is about 10 minutes. So your 10 minutes at around a 9. But yeah, everyone's chronic pain varies, doesn't it? That's the joy of it, I suppose. But do you still have pain from your ribs? I imagine breathing when you've got broken ribs is very, or even fractured, whatever kind of rib damage you've got is going to be very high on the pain scale though. Look at all the pretties. They are very pretty. But stop it. I do from when I broke mine. Yeah, I know a couple of people that have damaged their rib cages and they still will have issues with it, and it will still cause them some form of pain. It may not permanently be a pain. Like, they might have times when they have it or don't have it. But most people I know do tend to still get niggles with it. I mean, it could be worse though, because when I first had my back injury, I was permanently on a fucking 10. Like, permanently on a 10. The entire disc was crushed against the nerve inside my spine. There was... I was stoned out my box most of the fucking time just to try and, like, function. I couldn't walk. But I can walk now, and the pain's only about 4 or 5. So, it's cool. It could be worse. It's not fun breathing with damaged ribs. I don't imagine it is. The worst I've had's, like, bruised ribs. And that wasn't pleasant to breathe with, so broken or fractured. I mean, I've got a high pain threshold, but fuck that, it's just annoying, innit? How many of these fucking archers are there? 2 over there, 1 there. Ooh, can I reach that one? Yeah, I can. Laughing with them's even worse. Yeah. And then you get to that point where, like, I don't know if everybody does this, but I do this. Where when you get, like, the sharp pain and it's really painful, you laugh. So, can you imagine if that kicked in when you've got painful ribs? Oh my goodness. I did it once when I had the bruised ribs, where I laughed because it hurt, but then it hurt more, so I laughed, and it was just a vicious cycle. I eventually cried because it hurt. You know what? If I was a horse, excuse me, if I was a horse, I'd be a pot of glue by now, thinking about all the parts of my body that are broken. Fair. Yeah, fair. Luckily, I have no pain now. But it took 6 months before it healed. Got a lot of sympathy for people with chronic pain after that. Try sneezing with broken ribs. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I can just imagine. Oof. Nah. But yeah, people with chronic conditions, like... I wouldn't say I'm exactly fortunate, but I'm definitely more fortunate than some people with chronic conditions. My cousin has trigeminal neuralgia, I think it's called. Oh my gosh, when that kicks in, fucking hell. It's on the pain scale, like on the general pain scale, I can't even fucking say it, trigeminal neuralgia is more painful than childbirth and all that jazz. It's like near the tippity top of the human pain threshold. And that poor fucker's just got to deal with it when it happens, because there's nothing you can do about it. At least mine's just fucking spinal damage and nerve damage. Right. Coughing, sneezing, laughing, blowing your nose, bad ideas. Yep, I can imagine, yep. And when I ended up having fucking abdominal surgery, all of those hurt. So if it was actually around where my lungs were, ooh, no thank you. It's like, I would like a refund.
There's turned so many Uruk against us. It's getting hard to know who to fight.
Fight them all. Fight everybody. Kill each other. Make my life easier. There we go. Krook. Krook. Refund. Yep. 100%. Or like, I would like to trade in for a newer model, please.
Where is that worthless rock?
I'm right here. Where are you? There you are.
On the ground, maggot. Right side.
Wow, he took like.
Dead body missing from this slaughter.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
You idiot! Not a chance.
Kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. Kill him. No!
Oh! We'll meet again, Ranger. Do the speaking!
Right, kill him. Run after him. Fuck.
Go on, you Shrek.
Ooh.
Just remember, when I'm gone, you'll still be nothing but a curse with a dead family.
I'm Batman. No. Right, sadly I've got to wait for them to fill the next slot. I was gonna say that. I'm Batman. I can't do the deep voice thing though, because, you know, chipmunk. Motive. Putting things where he wants them. So Nazu, the blacksmith, has OCD. Do not kill. Good elf man. Oh no, the TV's going to turn up. Right. I need them to get another fucking... Because I killed the 5th one. How was your dinner? I'm fat now. It was so good. Well, if I don't know where that one is, I'm just basically going to have to go through the map until they fucking replace them, aren't I? Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Do you know one thing some people have for Thanksgiving? Collard greens. I want to try them. Is it collard greens? Collard greens? I think it's collard. I don't know. I want to try them. Oh, what's it all over there for? What the fuck did I just do there? If it's greens, it means stay away. I like my vegetables. I'm in the mine of crafts. Ooh, what are you doing in the mine of crafts? Apart from, like, you know, mining and crafting. It worked. I did. Oh. That's unfortunate. Oi, motherfucker.
I don't like the sound of that.
I need to find a place for home. Yes, you do. I need to go back on it. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back on it and then I'll go and buy, like, another game or play another game. Basically, I end up on Moria, but I bought myself Pal World last night. And that's a new thing that I'm going to be doing a lot. If you look in the house on top of the hill, there are some starter kits. You can grab one if you want. Just need to figure out how to turn off the cords. Boom, 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 panda. Boop.
We're free!
Leave my dude alone.
From above! Traitors!
Not what I meant to. I don't remember. Ow. Goodness, will you just stop? He's like the most normal looking orc I've seen in a little bit. Disgusted by the thick, cloying green life. I read it. Shmeesh. Okay. You heard him. You heard him, right? That was a dare.
So we'll be dead before he lands.
I don't know which one it was. Who'd you think? That one. That one will do.
Did you hear that?
You heard him. Dared me. Had to do it.
Must have been a goat in the underbrush. If it comes
A fucking goat? Greatest of all time. Okay, yeah, I'm a goat. Oops. Right, so we're meant to go over there. Okay, yes. There's going to be an ad in a minute. I will pause. Hopefully, we'll get to where we need to be before the ad starts. What do I think?
Our warriors deserve more than they get. Agreed. It's always the berserkers who get the grog. Keep your eyes open for that grave walker scum. If we kill him good.
Where are you going? Oh, God. Jesus.
Wait, I saw
I'm early there. Up. Ad's starting soon and we've nearly made it. We've nearly made it. We're gonna make it. Okay, we made it. Fuck yeah. Come on now. Just while the ad's on. Don't want anyone to miss anything. Now, if you would like to go and get a beverage, some food, something like that, while we wait, we have... Once it friggin' starts. How's your back doing? It's a little bit tender. I'll probably do this one after the ads that I've just started. So we've got 3 minutes. I'll probably do this one and then we'll find someone to raid, because it's because I've walked around today. It's like it's the hip more than the back that's hurting. God, I'm like an old woman. I'll try not to sing along. I nearly did there. I'll try not to sing along though. What did I do with that? Nothing. It's just a development. I don't know whether it's something to do with the back or something to do with the fact that I've got hypermobility. Because I can't just have one thing wrong with this, you know. That'd be boring. My mama didn't raise no bitch. Ow. Do. Yep. My neck, my back. Is there any part of me that don't crack? Ow! See? That's me just trying to get untangled from some fucking wires. I give up. I quit. I'm done. Refund! So what have you got planned with the rest of your Thanksgiving? Anything good? Do. What have you found? Oh, that's so cute. When I get a desk, I'm going to get one. Try not to sleep too early. Fair. What I'm thinking of getting for the sitting room, because I've currently got, well, what I currently use is a coffee table that can fold out into like a big square table. But no, I'm not. But I cut the legs down to like, you know, I think it's Japanese, I could be wrong, but how they have the really low tables, but they're a big square and everyone can just sit around on cushions on the floor. You can turn it into that, and I really like that idea. It's a little bit too much for the sitting room though, so I'm just using it as a desk. When you get a disc, oh mate, if you could buy them, I'd be set. But no, I'm thinking of getting one of the desks that can, you know how they can go, like they can go up or down, basically. I can get one about the same length as my current TV unit with the same black wood design on it. And it's like, oh. Hopefully January sales treats as good. Know what I mean? Welcome back from the adverts. Thank you for sticking with us. Let's go get kicked to shit. Right. To dispense justice against traitors, enemies unrival Urux eagerly volunteer as executioners. If not stopped, the executioners will increase in power. Okie dokie. Kill. Good. Got it. Oh look, a grog barrel.
You've all caused us. This wasn't how it was supposed to be.
I'm gonna kill you both. It's fine. Wasn't there a grog barrel? Motherfucker, move. God damn it, I ran out of stuff.
Ranger! What are you doing causing bother now? These rotten lots for the chop!
I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they are very chop-worthy. However... Oh, that was wrong.
I remember that one! Get off me!
Hey, hang on then. Come on.
I'll kill you by myself!
Oh! See you there. Fuck. Does he have to fucking snort though?
Horrible, you tried it again! Safe!
Really?
This is all too much bother! You'll pay next time!
Of course, well. Fuck. Fuck. Why is it telling me that? God damn it, he got away! Hey, rude. Boop. Fucking meow. Excuse me, coming through. Oh, well. Up, 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 up. Are you gonna get the fuck up? Get up. Oh, I swear. I'm gonna fall out with this dude.
Haven't seen our leader in ages. I see our crawls back under a rock. Crawls, just rats. Clean out your ears. You're always hearing things. The ears talk like that. We'll be getting a visit from the executioner.
It says there's an arrow.
Wait. I smell something.
Is it up there? Come on. Come on. Little boy. Thanks.
Back to work then.
Right.
Must have imagined it. Stay alert, just in case.
No grab. Honestly. Oh. I thought we could get intel. Unfortunate. Right, and then we'll just take a hop, skip and a fucking jump over here. Chada! Right, ow. Right. So we just need him to get replaced next time. Tomorrow, that's the one. And then hopefully we'll go from there. Ooh, my arm's just gone all tingly. The right one though, not my left one, so we're good. Right, okay.
The executioner's axe
Raid time. Choo-choo. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee. I hope everyone's had a good evening. Who do we have? Oceania. Ooh. Okay, so our options are Sea of Thieves, Spyro the Dragon, yep, that'll be it. Sea of Thieves or Spyro the Dragon. Okay, what? Could raid Panda Pop? Could. Spyro. So do you think he was impressed? So we're going to go and see some Welsh dude. Lovely chap. There are the subscriber raid messages and the non-subscriber raid messages. Follower, that's the word. Couldn't think of it. Oh, as always, my lovelies, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you very, very much. Pip, pip, and all that jazz. I can't add this thing, just... we will be back tomorrow. Fuck it. We will be back tomorrow with more Moria. I will potentially open a VC. I'll have to see how things go. But yeah, that was words are hard, okay? Words are hard. But thank you for being here with me. I really do appreciate you all so very much. I'm really enjoying this game. And hopefully tomorrow we will actually not fucking kill the last war chief and dominate him. Until then though, I bid thee good evening. I hope everyone on the other side of the pond has an amazing rest of your Thanksgiving. Please do not kick the shit out of everybody tomorrow for Black Friday. Remember that you were meant to be appreciative. But yeah, have a good one. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very, very much. And goodbye for now, my dears.